Hey, Adair Finucane here from withadair.com, here to talk to you about doshas today. So when I learned about doshas, it was kind of like discovering a superpower that had been available to me all along, and I just wasn't aware of it. Doshas are used in Ayurveda, Ayurveda being the sister science to yoga or the medicine of yoga. And they're basically our elemental makeup. So each of us, you could say, is a little pie chart. And depending on how you're constituted, you have different amounts of each dosha. And there are three. One is vata, it's the ether or air element. And someone who has a lot of vata might have a lot of big, expansive ideas, might be someone who forgets to shut the cupboard door, kind of spacey, sometimes in helpful ways, sometimes not, depending on whether they're feeling really imbalanced. Somebody who physically might have longer bones or a thinner build is typically vata. So I have a lot of vata in my physical constitution and quite a bit in my mental constitution as well. So vatas are dispersive, they're expansive. And when vatas are out of balance, they're going to look more anxious, more worried, ungrounded. Physically, digestively, they're going to get a lot more bloated more easily, gassy, that kind of thing. So all of the doshas can be in balance or out of balance. We also have pitta. Pitta is fiery. And someone who's imbalanced in pitta, like, don't get in their way. They are doing their thing and they are getting it done, and they're very focused, very driven. If that goes out of whack, they might look like somebody who's really irritable, kind of aggressive, super in their head about what they're trying to get done, maybe workaholism, that kind of thing, that go, 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 get it attitude. When it's out of balance, not so good, right? Too much heat in the mind. Pittas have really strong digestion. And so if there's something that's going too fast with your digestion, if things are moving too quickly, that might be an indication that your pitta is out of whack. And then we have kapha. The kaphas of the world are much more steady, slower going. Kapha is a water and earth element. It goes with the flow, just like water is going to travel through a stream bed, not up higher, in a higher space than the stream bed. It's going to go to the lowest common denominator of space. So go with the flow, path of least resistance. A kapha who's imbalanced is going to be very stable, very nurturing, very grounded. And a kapha who's out of balance is going to have a harder time getting motivated. So there's going to be a lot of stuckness, a lot of stickiness. So all of these doshas, they're neither good nor bad, but as I've gotten more interested in Ayurveda, I've noticed that, wow, this is a real language, and it's the language of my mind, and it's the language of my body, and how cool that I have always got access to my mind and my body, because here I am living in them. And to me, that's so empowering, because it can be very easy to say, oh, I have this, mental thing going on, or I have this physical thing going on. I need to go on WebMD and figure out what's wrong with me. It's like, no, instead of what's wrong with me, maybe it's, have I been making any particular habitual choices lately? Or have I been living in certain circumstances that might lend to an air of ungroundedness or feeling overwhelmed? Or that might lend me to not feeling like I can move out of what's stuck? So depending on what your constitution is like, you're going to have different forces to contend with. If you're someone who has a lot of kapha, then getting up and moving is going to be really important. If you're someone who has a lot of vata, then sitting still and silence regularly and having a routine is going to be that much more important. Someone who's very pitta is going to need some time to calm down, to chill out. So all of these forces play out in our mental, emotional, and physical spheres. And like I said, to me, that's just really empowering, because we have given our power away in a lot of circumstances, saying there's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is. I need to go to the doctor. And while doctors can be really helpful, we can get a heck of a lot done by educating ourselves on how to understand our bodies, how to understand our minds. So this is a whole deep science, and I just love talking about it. If this has piqued your interest, if you're curious about it at all, hit me up. Let's talk. I have a group called Being Extraordinary. It's a year-long group, and we develop at an accelerated rate in this group. We use the habits of yoga and Ayurveda to clear out the imbalances that are mental, emotional, and physical so that we can actually live the lives that we're supposed to live, so that we can develop, like I said, and become extraordinary by becoming more ourselves. And that happens when we're not weighed down by the imbalances that we end up with over time. So, yeah, if you want to talk, I would love to speak with you. Hit me up and take care. Bye.